school to go would be Farrington School, represented by the marketing manager and boarding registrar, Mrs. Fiona Vale. Good morning.
Good morning. My colleague also, Mr. Sam Palacios, who is head of boarding, is here as well. So he'll be doing most of the talking during the presentation. So
you're both welcome.
Shall I start the presentation now?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. So I'm Sam Palacios. It's really great to be here today. And yes, and actually, for once, the weather in the UK is really nice. So it's very sunny outside. I tried to point my camera out there, but it was just too bright. But for January, we're doing very well this morning. So I'm here today to talk about Farrington School, which is a school in the outskirts of London. And actually, that's one of its real unique selling points, is that we are only 10 miles from the city centre of London, but yet we remain in very sort of green, leafy northern Kent. So you may see in a moment, if we're able to share our screen, a really beautiful picture of the campus in which you'll see forests all around us. Yet we can quickly hop on a bus or a train and get into the city centre inside sort of 25 minutes. My background, before I talk about the school, is I've been a housemaster for the past 8 years, working in 2 different UK boarding schools. And I've had the real joy and the privilege of working with lots of Nigerian families during that time. So I feel I really understand the values and the sort of principles of Nigerian culture and what Nigerian families are looking for. So I'll tell you a little bit about Farrington's. One of our most amazing things is our weekend programme for boarders. So we don't have exeats. There's no need for any boarder to leave at the weekends. Obviously, with the exception of half term and the full term holidays like Easter and Christmas. And every single Saturday we have a boarders trip. So very ambitious programme, but we really celebrate that. We go into London quite a lot. Our recent trips have involved things like going to see Mrs. Doubtfire in the West End, going to Leeds Castle and sort of embracing a bit of English history and heritage. We've also been bowling and go-karting and all those sorts of things the boarders really enjoy. So that's something we really celebrate. In terms of the wider school, to give you an idea, we are a Methodist school, so we sort of embrace sort of the Christian ethos, although we do welcome children and families of all faiths and none. We have a beautiful chapel that we go to twice a week, and it's a really lovely opportunity for the school to be together as a community and reflect and just sort of have that sort of common ground, I suppose. We have very competitive fees, particularly given our location against our local competitors in London. We feel we offer a very good deal, and we're also very transparent. We don't have any hidden costs. What you sign up for is very much what you get. Academically, we have small classes, so there's fantastic amount of contact time with each teacher, between each teacher and child. And the thing that we're known for locally is a very high level of pastoral care. That's our very strong reputation. And as someone who only arrived here a year ago, I can tell you that's something that was a real pulling point for me. Joining the school was the pastoral care. And maybe on that note, I should reveal that my children do come to this school as well and are very happy. We have a wonderful extracurricular programme called the Floriat programme, where students can learn how to do archery, how they can learn to do clay pigeon shooting, cooking outside, outdoor cooking, barbecues, you name it, scuba diving. In fact, there was a very recent trip to Egypt on a scuba diving course as well, which we offered. And it very much helps having a swimming pool on site for them to train and prepare for things like that. We're very academically ambitious. We have students every year going to Russell Group universities. We have Oxford candidates, but we're a broad ability school, and we like to celebrate every pupil, regardless of their aims and targets. So we're very excited when pupils get amazing apprenticeship programs on the way, but also when they choose more vocational subjects as well. So we really are a school who nurtures everybody. We have a really great reputation for football as well, and our boys and girls are both very well known for their football accolades. Our girls in recent years have won several national cups, and last season our first boys team were undefeated in the league for the entire season. So really great sort of competitive athletic side to the school as well. In addition to the academics, we've got a fabulous careers programme, which is award-winning. In fact, that we were finalists this year in the Independent Schools Award for careers. So that's something that's, again, looking at the sort of apprenticeships and broader curriculum. That's something that really, really appeals to a lot of people. But I would like to point out, something I believe in, as well as being head of boarding, I'm also assistant head pastoral. And I really believe that education at Farrington should go far beyond academics. So one thing that's really important to us is educating about well-being and personal development and character education as well. It's something we really, really strive for. We are offering scholarships at the moment, and typically our scholarships can range between sort of 20 and even 50% for the right kind of student. So if you're wondering today what the right kind of student is for a scholarship with that sort of generosity, we're looking for ambitious young people. We're looking for students who work hard, who have really, really clear targets in their mind. But I think for us as a school, our biggest sort of driving factor would be looking for students who align with our values of kindness, of community, of compassion, and all those sorts of things. So if you feel that that's a child that's in that position and you feel they've really aligned with that, please do make contact with us. I'll also just quickly mention, in addition to obviously being a very good school for football, we do have excellent sports facilities. We have gyms and obviously a sports hall, a swimming pool, which has just had a really lovely new roof installed on top of it, and all sorts of other things going on. I was hoping to share with you a little story about a Nigerian student we have at the moment, and have some pictures for you to see. But I will say, one of the really, really great things about that I've found with this particular student, his name is Richard, he's from Nigeria, is that he's integrated so well. There are other students from West Africa in the school, and he is friends with them, but he's also friends with people from all over the world. And one of the really, really great things about the community at Farrington's is there is fantastic integration. If you visited the school, you'd have absolutely no idea who was a boarder and who was a day student, because many of our day students come from all over the world, given that we're so close to London. And that's something we really, really, really celebrate. So in terms of what's next, if you think Farrington sounds like a good school for you, please do get in touch. We are, as I say, offering scholarships. We're particularly aware of the sort of currency rates issues going on, and sort of inflation and things. So we're really, really keen to maintain our engagement with Nigerian and West African families. So if you feel you would like a conversation about that, please don't hesitate to contact myself or Fiona, who's on the call as well. I think I've probably got to nearly 10 minutes. So if there are any questions, I'll be very happy to answer them. Fiona, is there anything you wanted to add at this stage?
No, I think you've covered everything, Sam.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I couldn't share the presentation.
That's okay.
Technical problems, I'm afraid. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. And for anybody who's watching, on our Farrington's website, there is a really fantastic video which promotes boarding specifically, which shows you one of our trips back in September, which was going on the London Eye, doing a Thames River cruise, getting some food, eating in the park, and heading back to school. And it also demonstrates that the local area, which is Chislehurst, which is a really lovely kind of British village feel, with ponds and ducks and all sorts like that. So do check out the video and any of our other promotional material on the website.
Amazing presentation. Thank you so much for that presentation, and special thanks for keeping to time. Okay, so yes, we have a question in the Q&A. Okay, so Walker would like to know how you help students from different backgrounds feel part of the community.
Yeah, sure. So we know that coming to a school in another country, you're quite prone to suffering from sort of culture shock, where suddenly the food is all different, the people around you, behave differently and have different expectations. So we really look to sort of bring things from home into school. So I was very lucky actually to travel last year to Nigeria, to Lagos and Abuja, and I learned a lot about the culture and the food. And actually now our chefs are cooking Nigerian food. We have some Polish students in the school who we bring sort of Polish food in as well. So I think food's a great way of doing that, of making people feel like they've got that little bit of home with them. But also, I think promoting little things like having pictures up in their rooms, personalizing their space, inviting people to come and stay from the day student community, anything to kind of sort of promote that companionship and celebrate, where they're from and what their sort of heritage is.
Okay, thank you. We have a parents raising their hand. We have a hand up. Do we still have a parent's hand up? Okay, I don't think the hand is up anymore. Okay, we have one more question in the chat box. Okay, so Walker would also like to know how you prepare students for tertiary education.
Sorry, it just broke up slightly there. How we prepare students for
tertiary education, like higher education.
Oh, I see. Well, we have a really good sixth form department. So we have A levels and BTECs and lots of guidance available. We have a UCAS coordinator who makes sure that their application to university is the very best it possibly can be. We have very good systems for tracking grades, for giving feedback to pupils and parents in a very proactive way, such that we can address any issues or difficulties they're facing. And I would also just say the class sizes at that age group, at the sort of 16 to 18 age group, are small enough that the education they're receiving is very tailored and customized to each individual. We know that no two children learn the same way. Some of them will need to learn with things they see, and some will need to learn with things they hear or things they learn experientially. And we very much use all tools and kind of wrap the education around the child.
Okay, thank you. Let's see. Do we have any more questions? Parents, if you still want to ask questions, the floor is still open. Okay, so we have the lead consultant for Brains and Butter here, and she would love to ask you a few questions. And we have Dr. Alo. Dr. Alo is a lead consultant for Brains and Butter.
Okay.
Dr. Alo, good morning.
Good morning, Da Silva. Thank you very much. Just a quick question, because time really is moving and we've got so many amazing schools, but I don't want our parents to forget your school, Mr. Palacios, because I know that when you're the first act to go, as it were, you can feel under pressure and there's so much information you want to share. So I thought it would be really good if you can tell us what you think really makes Farrington Schools stand out. What is so special about Farrington School? What is your USP, if you like? And knowing what you know about the Nigerian culture and what we like our schools to have, how would you bring those two together?
Okay, that's a good question. So I suppose I'll try and put it into very short bullet points so it's really clear, because I take your point. It's being first, you do it sort of all rolls away. It's good to just be clear. So first of all, I do think our location is really important. It gives us the opportunity to have a calm, sort of tranquil sort of lifestyle in this part of the country, whilst having all the vibrancy of London. Now, the Nigerian families I've worked with and the children I've worked with have loved going into London. They want to go into London all the time, but they want to do it safely and securely and know that there's somewhere kind of that feels like a home for them to come back to and with ease. So that's the first thing. I think the values of the school, the Christian ethos, is really important, and I picked that up a lot when I was in Nigeria. That regardless of an individual's faith, just having a structure and a sense of a sort of beliefs and of morals is really, really important. But also, I think Nigerian families want, you know, ambitious, studious lessons and hard work and going for really, really exciting careers in the future. So those three things I think are really important. Just added with a little bit of football, because I did, when I was in Nigeria, there was a lot of football going on. I'm actually coming back to Nigeria in March, and I'm actually coming to see some football matches and to sort of engage with football with other schools. So I think those three things, plus a little hint of football, is probably what makes Farrington's very suitable for Nigerian families.
Amazing. Thank you.